Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea. I'm joined by the cast and crew. Do you know what I'm saying? The man that don't miss, the hosts that never coast. It's Miz and Younes. Miz, how you doing, bro? Talk to me.
Doing good, man. Doing good. Got a fresh, clean cut today. You know, looking like a little baby again.
Baby Miz.
A nice haircut. Yeah, baby Miz, man. Baby Miz. Yeah, man.
You shaved off about 15 years.
Yeah. Every now and then I like to dodge the people. Do you know what I mean? Like dodge the viewers a little bit. That there's a young person underneath it all. So yeah, can't wait for the conversation time, man.
Yeah, listen, I'm the oldest one on the panel. Younes has got a fresh trim as well. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I mean, you're next.
No, I don't think so. You know, like I said, off air, it takes too long to get a haircut in Ireland. You have to travel 2 donkeys, a tractor. You have to wait outside. It's long. I have to go all the way across the country just to go to the barbershop. It's crazy. It's long. But how are you doing?
No, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Same old, innit? Just waiting for things to happen now. And I've realized that you are clearly involved in this whole trying to get Lukaku off to Inter Milan. You've got the nice Inter Milan jersey behind you, trying to advocate for this. I've just clocked, so yeah. We should have worn the Inter Milan jersey, Younes, the Chelsea version.
Well, I just
he's got that one as well.
I just want to make him feel at home. You know, I've got the Inter Milan Chelsea jersey. I've got the Inter Milan shirt. Do you know what I mean? I just want to make sure that he feels at home here. If he was ever watching, you know, that he would be able to perform and do his very best. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, right? Because yesterday I uploaded, I uploaded the first time, and this probably has happened to you guys before. Maybe it hasn't. But this will be a lot shorter, people. We'll just be talking about really what I didn't get to speak about yesterday. Fabrizio puts out a breaking news tweet as I'm uploading the file and the thumbnail is being created. So it makes the whole post irrelevant.
I've been there. I've been there before.
Hurt my soul. Bro, I wanted to jump into his comments and say, you bitch, you couldn't wait 12 more hours. And it was actually the Bastoni news because that was hilarious. Tottenham fans. So I just done a video based on Inter Milan potential swap players, going through each individual player. I spent about an hour, going through the bare basics at the minimum of Bastoni, his profile, how he plays, etc. All for it to be irrelevant. Luckily, it was funny though, because Toby uploaded saying that they were gonna get him ahead of Man United, and that made his whole thing irrelevant. And then we all trolled. But so that comes down. Second upload now, I put it out, and the comments are just slandering me, dragging me, throwing me to the wolves. They're like, I'm not staying here with this audio. I'm going to watch Younes.
Welcome to my world, bro. Welcome to my world during watch along.
You guys know.
Everyone's like, yo, there's an echo. I'm like, fuck off. So I take that down. That's gone. And at that point, I said, you know what? I'm not re-recording. I'm on Saeed's channel now. I'm done. I've got Big Six later. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm finished. Luckily I had a backup upload recorded with yours truly, Rabona TV, Adrian, absolute legend. And we actually spoke about Younes the afternoon earlier. And Lord and behold, Fabrizio Younes, 100 million euros. So I was like, let's just throw that out and we move on with our lives. So people, it was a struggle yesterday, but we will get there. Obviously, OBS is doing a madness for me. But let's talk about, I guess, what I didn't get to speak about yesterday, which is it was like a follow-up for everybody, I guess, from the Lukaku extra information that we've been given. Again, I can't even remember at this point what it was. Miz, you was angry on your page.
Yes,
last night was it?
Three deal swap. Like basically, it's Jacob Benz again, who's running with this. He's turning out to be a very, very good journalist, man.
He's unbelievable. I'm speaking.
I've never heard of him before though. Like only when the whole saga started with the new ownership, that he's really taken off. He's very well spoken. I watched him on Football Terrace yesterday as well, where there was a whole heap of Chelsea conversation. And the way he elaborates himself, he knows stuff. Like he's not, how when people are making up stuff, like recently Simon Johnson in The Athletic, he's writing some stuff and I'm like, Simon, just tell us you don't know because you're making stuff up now. With this Jacob Ben, dude, he's
Ben Jacobs, yeah.
Ben Jacobs. Is that his name? Ben Jacobs?
Ben Jacobs, yeah.
His Twitter handle is Jacobs Ben.
Yeah, but it's Ben
His
Jacobs.
name is Ben Jacobs, yeah.
Yeah, I always get confused with the Twitter handle. I keep calling him Jacob Benz. Ben Jacobs, that's it. Yeah, he was talking about how Lukaku deal is very complicated. It ain't going to be easy. It's very complicated, but one thing's for certain, he wants to go, and Inter wants him as well. But Inter broke, and we are now not going to bend over backwards and just allow for this guy to just go back to Inter. Do you know what I mean? Like, we know we're going to make some sort of loss, but we ain't going to take all the losses. He was saying that because I think he knows Todd Bowley and Clearlake Capital, like someone internally from that particular group. Yeah. And he was saying that financially, it's got to make sense. And this is what I like about this new mob that's come in and taken over us. They're very focused on, we're not going to just do a deal just because it's the right thing to do. Like, it's got to make sense for the club as well. So he kept on saying that Inter might throw a player. So the three players that were up for grabs were Skriniar, Bastoni, and Lautaro Martinez. But he was saying Lautaro Martinez is not going to be actually happening because
he wants to stay, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he wants to stay.
Agent said as well.
And Lukaku's actually going back because his mate's going to be. This is ridiculous. Like,
can you imagine if we had swapped him for Lukaku? Lukaku would be at Inter Milan saying, "I want to come to Chelsea. Lautaro, please stay there. I'll be back."
It's mad. It's like one of us saying, "Do you know what? I miss that guy, so I'm going to move into that country and just leave everyone behind because I miss like so me coming to you guys. You know, I'll leave all my family behind." But I miss.
And then we bounce.
Younes, so, yeah, and then you bounce. So look, Lautaro Martinez, apparently that's not going to happen. Bastoni is also a tough one, and they've already said. Well, obviously, the recent comment was that from Fabrizio that he's staying.
Yeah.
Look, these sort of things they can change anytime. Like, he's saying now, his agent's saying immediate future.
He's staying because Tottenham's interested.
Exactly. He doesn't want to go to Tottenham, and. Lastly, Ben Jacobs was saying that Skriniar is apparently the most easiest one to offload.
Because they're looking to sell him anyway.
1 year left on his contract, 2024.
2023.
Although this morning we were also linked with Dumfries, the Dutch wingback.
The latest one.
That's the latest one. That's the update. But that I'm not sure on the source on that one, if that's really credible.
Do you know what? I don't want any of those guys. Like if it wasn't Gabriel Jesus, I would have taken Lautaro Martinez. Yeah, Bastoni is a really good one if that can actually happen. But I feel like I don't know about you boys. I want to hear.
Skriniar is a great player, you know.
No, Skriniar is good, but I feel like he's more right-footed. Like he would have been more sort of Jules Koundé's side. We need someone who's on the left, which is Bastoni. Now, a lot of people say Skriniar can play left as well, but I don't want someone who can play. I want someone who can absolutely dominate that side. And I feel like Bastoni, I've watched him in Champions League for Inter Milan. He is very good on that left side, right?
Yeah, he's left-footed,
My thing is, I feel like all this time, we were under the sort of weather with Lukaku. Now I feel like we have the power back because this guy has now made it public that he wants to go back to Inter Milan. And Inter Milan has now registered the interest to take this guy on a loan. I feel like we have the power now all of a sudden because your player wants to leave. And you want him as well, we're not going to bend over backwards no more because we're happy to keep him. He can rot in the reserves if need be. Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't even put him there.
This is where I would disagree. I don't think we can afford to keep this guy in the reserves because I think he's absolutely toxic as hell. Yeah,
exactly.
And if he stays, even within the realms of our football club, if he even opens the Cobham front door when pre-season begins, if he's even able to take food off the canteen lady, it's wrong. It cannot happen. He earns far too much money to even be in the squad, and he also stops us from purchasing potentially an attacker that we need to purchase because he's on the books. And my other concern, I must say, is that Inter Milan may want him, but they don't need him. And what I mean by that is that Lautaro banged in 21 goals this season. Edin Dzeko was there. Dybala, we have to keep an eye on Dybala. Dybala is in talks with Inter Milan for a free.
Apparently that's happening. Fabrizio recently said that that's gonna happen.
So do Inter Milan? Are Inter Milan going to have a front line of Lukaku, Dybala, and Lautaro? That sounds very expensive for a team under a year ago that was in financial economic crisis that we had to rescue with parachute.
Do you know why they want Lukaku now, though, Matisse? Because Lukaku's apparently promised them that he will take more than 50% pay cut.
Who paid us? We ain't paying. Stop. Listen, I tweeted, stop that direct debit. You know when you go to the gym?
Yeah,
I'm not joking. Stop. Facts. You know, Biz, we haven't paid all the installments.
Nah, we haven't. We haven't.
Stop the direct
probably
debit.
about 4 or 5 years or something. Yeah, we've spread it out.
No,
I
think I read it was over 1 year. Most of it was over 1 year. I think there was initial 20-something million payment. 71 million was over the course of the season. But then we got sanctioned. So we couldn't actually pay, right? So we still owe them money. I said, my God, if this was a gym membership, you just stop the payment. You change the payment method, switch it to some backup bank account like Halifax with only 34p and let it roll.
Don't diss Halifax, yeah?
I knew somebody was going to have Halifax.
Do you know what?
They give you extra.
Going back to the point where Matisse, where you said that they don't need him. I completely get it. They don't. But the reason why it's more suitable for them now is because he's offered to take a wage cut. I don't think they're going to get the level. I don't even know what Lukaku's level is anymore. But Inter Milan obviously will say he's at a good level because of what he's done with them. But they're not going to get that level of a striker that they had for the pay cut that he's willing to take. This is why they're interested, because Lukaku is saying, I'm willing to take 50% pay cut. So I don't think there are any other strikers in the world that are going to take that much of a cut to go to Inter Milan. This is why it's become interesting for Inter Milan as well. Do you know what I mean?
I want to get your opinion on this part, Younes, because this is what completely confuses me to the high heavens. I've never seen a player that's about to go out on loan, that's still under contract with a club, that wants to take a wage cut. How does that work? Have you ever seen it? Because he's saying that he'll take a wage cut, but he's currently under contract with us at £325,000 a week before tax. So basically what I'm trying to ask is, how is he slashing his wages? Is he going to sign a new deal with less wages? Are we expected to pay the rest of the wages like usual? How is this gonna, what wage cut?
Well, at this point, this is why, like, we talk about Halifax. Yeah, I'm so close to calling the fraud prevention team and trying to like see if we've been like actually like done on a conspiracy level here, because this is mental. Like at this rate, you know what? And it's easy for us to say as fans. At this rate, we haven't finished paying all the installments. Yeah, just tell Inter Milan, yo, we're not gonna pay you the rest. Yeah, take your player. End it. Terminate the contract. He's a free agent. Do what you want. We ain't paying you the rest. Therefore you've made profit and you have your player back. Yeah, and we'll just bite the bullet. It's easy to say, obviously, as us, we're not running the club. If we were running the club, we wouldn't say that. But, bruv, in terms of what he's trying to do here, like I still can't comprehend how you leave Inter Milan, yeah. After knowing that, well, according to his interview, he wanted Real Madrid or Barca or Bayern Munich. Yeah. That could never happen. So Chelsea were on the table. Okay, last option, nice one. We'll go back to Chelsea.
A little bit deluded.
Bruv, you do all of that. You then leave. You then stick all the Inter fans in the mud because now they're pissed at you. And then a couple of months later, you conduct an interview. You want to go back to Inter. You're on big money. Nothing makes sense. It just does not make sense, bruv. This guy, I don't know if he needs help. Probably, maybe he is. I have no idea.
You know, when a kid can't make a decision, a kid can't make a decision, and
bruv, he's 29.
You make them dinner. I'm sure, Miz, maybe you've experienced this. You make your kid dinner. And they said they wanted that food, and so you prepared it, and here it is now, the plate's in front of you. And then they look at you and they said, I don't want it like that. Or actually, I don't want that anymore. I was
Every day, bro. Every day.
That's not how it works, Charlie. We've just prepared you a 3-course meal here, and here you are, slagging off the chef with the Michelin stars right in front of you, and you think I'm gonna go and make you more food. Brother, go over there and go make yourself some toast. Yeah, go and slap some 2 pieces of bread in that toaster and go and shut that shit down. That's what you're going to eat today. That's your dinner. You can go and call child services if you wish. That's how it feels right now. Man. I feel proper mugged off, bro. Every single time something comes out, I get angrier. Usually, when I break up with someone, I just move on with my day. This guy, he just keeps sending oh yeah, by the way, I slept with your sister. and then 2 months later, new. Two months later, I slept with your other sister. and I owe you $4,000. And because I accidentally stole your money. It's just every single.
Soon is going to be your mother at this rate. Like,
How I Met Your Mother. New episode coming out of Lukaku next week. It released.
Bro, no, it's Matt, to answer your question. Like, he's clearly so desperate because now we know he doesn't even want Bayern Munich. Like his eyes are Inter Milan, so he's willing to take a cut of that magnitude. It just doesn't add up, bro. I can't understand how his logic has gone from I'm now happy to leave Inter, I'll go to Chelsea, to a couple of months later, I want to go back to Inter. I'm now willing to give up all of this that I've been given. When at first I had unfinished business, I wanted to come back, but now I don't, and I want to go back even though I just left. This is mental, man. I think he's doing everything in his power. I'm kind of happy that he's doing that, because now we know exactly where he stands. We know exactly what's going on. You want to take a pay cut? Cool. I don't care if you're not getting paid. We'll just go back to Inter. At this rate, look, I just want him gone. And even if, because we now know this deal isn't exactly easy. If it can't happen, right? As I've said before, bruv, you ain't coming to Cobham. We'll still pay you because we have to, or terminate the contract. But I know he will. But if it was me, if I'm Thomas Tuchel, you ain't coming back, bruv.
Stay at home. If he doesn't leave, we won't get to sign another attacker. We'll be stuck with his bomb.
Can we terminate his contract? Can we actually terminate his contract?
He'll be here next year. They'll put out some PR statement again that everybody will believe, reading off a teleprompter. I apologize. Let's have a fresh start, a new season, a new Lukaku. And this bald fraud will be still here. And I know they saved that remark for Anthony Taylor, but it's for him now. He will still be here all season. I will have to endure fans seeing him score 2 goals against Shrewsbury Town in the first round of the Carling Cup and say, he's fucking back, you know. He's back. It's time to forgive him. It's time to forgive him. Look who's back. Look who's bomber hole. What? Get him out, bro.
You know Lee Judges, right? Yeah. And you know, like how when Harry Kane scores for England, he doesn't celebrate because he's Spurs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Facts.
That is what will happen. I will end up doing that for Lukaku. If he's still around and he scores, I'll just be like,
do you know what? He's gonna have to leave. I hear what you're saying, Younes, that there may be a way where he sticks around. I just don't see how, because apparently there's been words going around that Thomas Tuchel has already had conversations with Topoli in regards to summer transfer plans and whatnot, and he said, I've got no issues if this guy wants to leave. Thomas Tuchel's already said, like, he can go. Like, that's fine. Now we just need to find out how we can actually do this transaction.
Yeah.
I think it's in everyone's best practice that he leaves now. I think Thomas Tuchel doesn't want him. Chelsea Football Club doesn't want him. Obviously, the new owners will back Thomas Tuchel. Chelsea fans don't want him. Inter wants him back. He wants to go. There's a World Cup just around the corner. He wants to get as many game time as possible. He doesn't want to be sticking around in the bench. It has to happen. One way or another, it has to happen. Whether it's a player swap, if we have to get freaking whoever else plays in Inter Milan, reserves team, let's do a swap with that player. If it needs to be. Under 15s, bring that brother in, take Lukaku. We will, feed that under 15 player, and then we'll see from there. But look, this guy, man, what a deluded player, man. Honestly, I've never come across a story like this in all the years of watching football.
Never.
Someone to be so me. The team doesn't play to my strength. The team is forcing me out. That I don't feel important. Dude,
you done this yourself, brother.
What is wrong with you? Do you go home and the world just circulates around you or something? Like, do you think
walking down the street with Chelsea, he then assaulted Chelsea, and then he persisted to blame Chelsea for calling the police, and now he's questioning why he's arrested. He's confused.
That's exactly it. Yeah,
that is exactly what's going on. Or there was an analogy on marriage where he's with his wife now. After having a very long-term relationship with his ex, but he's now with his wife. Finished business. The last stage of his career. I'm going to finalize my time here. And now, literally a couple months into the marriage, he wants his ex. You know what I mean? And not only does he want his ex, he looks like as if he's been texting her since Christmas. So it's brilliant. But I want to move on because I don't want to get hot and bothered about this man for too long, because he's really. I mean, I'm sure something else is going to come out soon where I will be able to be angry all over again. So I'm very much counting on him to continue to ruin my summer.
Do you know what, Matisse? One last thing before you move on to the next one. I can't wait the day when it is announced that he's going to Inter.
We will party.
The speech he's going to give for the Inter fans. Oh,
I'm going to give a speech.
God.
I'm going to give a speech. Find out. This is what I want to find out. Inter fans, do they actually want him back? Are Inter fans happy with this? Where do they stand? I'm curious to know how they feel.
Last time I checked, they didn't like him. They hated his guts.
They hated him.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
I hope they continue to, and then everybody hates him. You know, it's just like everybody is now just like unified. The fan base is unified. There's a few that are still trying to defend him, still trying to find excuses, still trying to listen. Let me tell you something, right? People, if you're at home and you still back this guy, or you still, and I never do this, right? But if you still, it's not a personality point, okay? What you're doing right now to stand out, to be different, it doesn't work around here, okay? I can see right through your bullshit. What you're trying to do is you're trying to look really mature. Oh, I don't mind that he's completely slagged off my football club. I don't mind that he's completely distracted Thomas Tuchel, some of our favorite managers, you know, since we've been supporting, and distracted a very actual likable group of players when they won the Champions League mid-season. I don't mind that he's been telling other strikers around Europe to stay where they are so he can join them. I don't mind that he earns all this money and cost us a whole heap of money to have 7 touches against Brighton and do absolutely fuck all apart from score a couple of goals in the Club World Cup, which I'm pretty sure fucking DeSanto could have done. You know what I'm saying? What's his name, brother? You remember that, brother?
Club World Cup live, bro. He wasn't even good. Like, he wasn't even good. Like, he just scored the goals. That's
it. He scored against Al Hilal and Palmeiras. Palmeiras is a good team, but listen, this is not what we paid 97 million. If you're still doing this to be mature, grow up.
You ain't mature yet.
Yeah.
Maturity or delusional? I think we have to distinguish between the two.
Yeah.
I question whether some of those people, that mindset, and as I said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, of course, but whether if someone actually just attempted to like do something to their own family, they would just probably stand back and go, no, you know, we'll just see how this plays out.
Oh, wait a minute.
Lukaku walks in with a balaclava at gunpoint. The whole household, yo, give me 325,000 right now, motherfuckers. Yeah? And you're just standing in the back. Well,
let's see how
to be fair, guys, as he's standing there ready to shoot you, we didn't lock the door, guys. You know, we're not really perfect ourselves, are we? You know, did you lock the door, Jerry? No, you didn't. So can you really complain that he's holding you to gunpoint? You know, Lukaku, shoot him. You're gonna shoot him. It is where it is. Do you know what I mean? We've all made mistakes here. You were promised that a door would be locked and you would move to the next house. We had the door open. It is where it is. Criminal offense or not, Jerry, you didn't lock the door. Come on. You're going to die, bro. This is what it is.
On your way out, would you like my missus as well? You know?
Bro, I'm convinced people don't have like respect for our club. Like, they think our club is a victim to be treated.
No, they don't.
This is unprecedented, and I'm not going to hear any other story, fairy tale story that people want to come up with to try and pit others. No, this is unprecedented. I've never seen this shit before as a Chelsea fan. Even the Yerders are not turning up to the mega store to buy his shirts, bro. I'm seeing his shit fully wrapped on the shelves.
Shirts are on sale.
It's on his shirt is on sale, and they still don't want it.
Yeah.
This doesn't compare to Courtois. I know it's happening, but I know because it's happening now, it feels like, oh, we're just being emotional. When we look back on this, bro, when I look back on this, I want a documentary and I want to know why this happened. I wish we were getting filmed by Amazon. Courtois won 2 Premier League titles, a Golden Glove, and did this in the summer when the season was already done. Let us know at the start of the summer he would like to leave, and then skip training.
He did it for his family as well. Lukaku, he's doing it for Lautaro Martinez.
It doesn't compare. It does not compare. It really
willing
doesn't.
To take half pay for Lautaro.
I would rather my goalkeeper miss training during the summer than my striker literally like this, he's gone AWOL on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? He's literally done a madness here. This is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like it. But it has led to Gabriel Jesus links, which we're going to get into next, because apparently we have been in talks with Gabriel Jesus actually for the last couple of weeks. Fabrizio, that just went out around about
I like this one. I like this
morning.
one.
Yeah, this morning. I think our opinions differ a little bit, Younes. I think you potentially are not as keen as maybe I am, which is good because I want to have the discussion. And I'm not even surprised that people differ on him, because to be honest, he's not a very he's not just like right in your face staring at you like I'm amazing. Do you know what I mean? But he's an interesting player. I call him an interesting profile because, like you mentioned in your video, he can play all across the front three. His statistics are a little bit low, but a lot of people are asking the question, rightly so, does he close the gap to Manchester City and Liverpool? And I think that's your main query, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, like, is he an upgrade on what we have right now? Yes. Is he a significant of an upgrade that we need in order to try and compete for the Premier League title? I'm not so sure. And I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Circumstances change players, and environments and different managers and different ways can change players. Who knows? But from what we've seen at Man City, is he as prolific as I would want someone to be in that front line? I've got question marks. I don't know. But yes, he's better than what we have. And this is where I know a lot of the fan base are looking at this going, look, he's an upgrade. Just bring him. And I hear it because of the availability of some other players in the market. There's not much right now. And even when you're looking in terms of the traditional number 9, it seems like even that whole concept is beginning to phase out. So when you're looking at how we want to play, can Jesus play in and across any part of the front three? Yes. Would I like him to play more on the left-hand side, for example, than as a centre forward? Yes, my opinion. Yeah. But it seems like Chelsea seem to be at least interested in bringing him as a replacement for Lukaku. So I don't know. I'd love to hear from you guys if you do think he would be really good for us. As to, do you have any concern with his goal scoring and whether he would be maybe even better than he was at Man City? Do you think his goal return is enough? That's my hesitancy, because I've seen him for Man City. We've all seen him for Man City, but there are times where I watch him and I'm like, oh man, you really should have scored that, or oh man, you've lost the ball there very easily. But on the flip side, he has some really good, very bright moments, and I hope if he were to come, that would be where he starts building more on. I don't know. I'm a bit in the middle. I'm stuck. I don't know what to think of him. But is he better than what we have right now? Yes. Although what we have right now isn't. I don't think it should be as an example, is it? It's not the standard. This is my problem.
Everything is better than what we have right now. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I get your point, and you know, for me, I mean, when you look at the market, it is a bit peak. Do you know what I mean?
It's
I'm not
tough.
Gonna lie to you. Lewandowski for me will not happen. I think he's going to Barca or he'll stay at Bayern. So then the other names that we've been linked to is Dembele, 1 goal this season. He's a creator, not a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Sterling, can't trust him to finish either, and he's going to cost way more, and he's on more wages. In Cuckoo, I like him, but I think he's going to be very expensive. Leipzig said they want about 80 million euros, and after I just seen what happened there with Younes to Liverpool, if that goes through, then that just pushes everybody's price up as well. I didn't think Younes would go for 85 to 100 million euros, with including add-ons. So when I name all those guys, I can't really trust any of them to be prolific in this league. Nkunku's never played here before. We know Bundesliga can be a little bit of a struggle for some to adapt and adjust. We've been there before. Sterling I can't trust, and Dembele really is only got 1 goal, so he might be able to bring some goals, but I'm not going to trust him to go from 1 goal to say 10 to 15. And he's also, let's be facing it, there's a risk with his fitness. Jesus for me just represents good value for money, can play all across the front three, is consistently available, is technical, and can help us create, but also can help us score. Like, he can contribute. I could see like 10-10 from him, you know? I'm not saying he's going to fix our problems. We definitely need to get another attacker. I think if you get Dembele and Gabriel Jesus, that's the bare minimum we have to do. But at least Gabriel Jesus has experience playing the possession-based team. He's been well coached. He's at a good age, so I do think he could go up to another level. We've seen stats not replicate before. We've seen players get better with their statistics, like Jota at Liverpool. He wasn't smashing in all those goals at Wolves. So I do think the player's hungry enough to prove himself in this league and say, I want to be consistently playing. I do think he's got the experience. You know, he's at a good age. He's played here before. He's already playing here. And I do think there is another gear to go. He's another player I look at and I don't think, yeah, you've hit your ceiling. Whereas there's a lot of players we get linked with, like Sterling, where I'm like, he's not getting any better with us. I can only see him getting worse. In Cuckoo, even though he's young, I don't see his statistics getting any better. I only see them getting worse. I was speaking to, like I said, speaking to Rabona TV, Younes has exceeded his XG massively last season.
Hard. And not just his XG, a lot of his other stats that people don't want to talk about. His passing accuracy, his ability to hold up, his ability to link up. It might have been an anomaly last season, and we'll see. But continue, bro.
My final point. So my point on Gabriel Jesus is, I think he's good value for money. I think he actually kind of works with what we're trying to do, is in the fact that he works hard, he counter presses, and he's technical, and he can drop deep a little bit, and he can get involved. He can go out wide. He's interchangeable with the other forwards, which I want us to go back to. I think if you need a 2-striker partnership with him and Kai, that can work. If you go to a 4-3-3, you want to play him on the right wing. A lot of City fans said that was his best position last season, out on the right, skipping past players, cutbacks, and also. Final point, maybe once again being a little bit of a dickhead, but doesn't go to Arsenal, doesn't go to Tottenham, who he's also linked with, and that helps us, and it ruins them a little bit, because then they have to continue to search. And I do believe that, as much as I 100% want us to close the gap on Liverpool and Man City, I'm not going to lie to you. In our current predicament, with everybody we've just lost defensively and all of the positions that we need to switch over, and the decline of the midfield a little bit with Jorginho and Kante and all these other things, and Lukaku, our biggest concern right now is not even closing that gap. And Chelsea fans don't want to hear that, because we're always striving for better. But our biggest concern right now is Tottenham. And people don't want to hear that, because they never want to take Tottenham seriously. But under Conte, I'm afraid you have to. Because even though they didn't get Bastoni, the fact that they were even linked with Bastoni tells you that at least they're linked to the same damn quality of player we're linked with. Do you know what I mean? They just signed Perisic. We all wanted Perisic. Well, we all would have taken Perisic. So that, and they've got a better forward line than us. I'll tell you that right now. Kulusevski, Kane, Son is clear of anything that we will even put together. We will not put together.
One of the best in the Premier League, I'd say. One
of the best.
Easily. Yeah.
So now it comes to defense, attack. We've just lost a bunch of defenders. They've got Cristian Romero, who I rate quite highly. They were looking at Bastoni. If they go and get someone on that caliber, they've got Conte, who's a very good coach defensively. They've just got Perisic. They sort out the right-hand side. Their defense and our defense, it doesn't start to become such a gap as it was. And obviously our midfield is much better. But again, they could go into the market. The difference between our two teams quality-wise is not that big. I mean, the points show. But yes, when we have everyone fit and hopefully we move on players like Lukaku, then we hopefully can clearly show that we're the third best team again. But my point is that they will be around and they will be a problem. So I think I think defense is the best form of attack. I'm not going to lie. Defend the third, and then after we'll see what we can do, is how I'm looking at it.
Before I get to my points in regards for getting Gabriel Jesus, I think one thing I want to highlight, and then we'll see what you guys think about this down the track. I don't think, for the time being, we should really rely on one or two players that are going to really elevate us. Like we relied on Lukaku last season, and look how it backfired. I think we need to think about how can we get a very comprehensive team, a team that shares the goals around. Not necessarily like Liverpool, Mane, Salah, who just bangs in so many goals. You take Mane, Salah out, I think Liverpool could be in a bit of a shock. Like there's a lot of goals that they score on a regular basis. So I want Chelsea Football Club under Thomas Tuchel for just in the near future, down the track, we'll see what happens, is to focus on a team that can share the load around. And now talking about Gabriel Jesus, what Matisse said, he can get someone around 10 goals, 10 assists. These are his stats from the season that just finished. 8 goals in the Premier League, 9 assists, 4 in the Champions League, 1 assist, 1 in the FA Cup, 2 assists. Overall, 13 goals, 12 assists. Yeah, it doesn't scream out, as Younes said, a prolific kind of player, but we don't have this kind of a player at the moment. So it would be good to just get that type of a player, then add a creative winger like Dembele who can feed more into these type of players. Have another player, whether it's Pulisic or a new winger, hopefully they can bang in goals from that side as well. Mason Mount tucks in midfield and he continues to score goals.
Gallagher gets goals.
Create a team that scores together as opposed to solely relying on this guy, like putting all my money down. So that's one thing about Gabriel Jesus. Now let's talk about some of the positives. 25 years old. I thought he was a lot older than that. Like, because he's been around at Man City for so long, I thought he was like 28, 29. He's only 25. So as Matisse once again said, this guy's not the finished article yet. He could just now take off to the next level. He's scoring goals for Brazil as well. He can play anywhere in the front three, once again, as Matisse said. But most importantly, I feel he fits exactly what Thomas Tuchel wants to do as a forward player up front. One of the biggest reasons why Lukaku didn't work out is Lukaku a lot of the time was static in between the two defenders. Now, that's fine, attracting two defenders, which allows the inside forwards to get space. But for some reason, it just didn't work out. Someone like Gabriel Jesus, he's so versed in Pep Guardiola's game. His movement is great. He'll be very good in tight spaces because we are going to come across teams that are going to be so tight in defense. He's going to be good in those spaces and he's going to be good to link up. He already understands how to manipulate with space, how to open up gaps. He would have known all of that from Pep Guardiola's time that he spent at Man City. So there's a lot of upside, man. The way I'm looking at it, you get yourself a creative winger with Dembele who's going to be feeding you a lot of chances. And as Younes said, yes, there are times where it seems like, oh, Jesus, you should have finished that. But hopefully we create more so it doesn't look that bad. Like his conversion can still be up above more than 50%. Havertz this season was 40%. Like we need to improve people's conversion. So for me, and £42.5 million, apparently that's what's been touted. I think that's decent. There's no particular striker at the moment that is absolutely screaming out, come and get me. Do you know what I mean? Once again, as Matisse said, Lewandowski, his heart is set on Barcelona. He wants to go to Barcelona. Now, whether Barcelona can do the deal, we don't know. Probably they can't. I don't think so. But do you want another one of these players that have publicly said, I want to go to Barcelona, and somehow we convince him to come to Chelsea, and then 6 months later, he's not happy again, much like the Lukaku situation. I don't want that kind of players. Same thing with Koulibaly, apparently. Koulibaly wants to go to Barcelona. I want players that actually want to come to Chelsea Football Club. And there was rumors that Gabriel Jesus was close to Arsenal, but the fact that Arsenal didn't come fourth and didn't get Champions League, and the fact that we have Champions League is kind of put a bit of doubt on his mind with the Arsenal situation. So, look, man, I think this would be great business, man, in regards to our attacking options. That's my thoughts.
I just think with this player as well is the attitude is there. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't see him as a player that's going to kick up a fuss. He knows the league already. He's already adapted. And you have the opportunity, because he's been offered to us, according to the Telegraph, to bring him in early so he gets a full pre-season. How many times do we dilly-dally with these players? We take our good, sweet damn time bringing them in. They come in on deadline day. They didn't get to gel with the team. They didn't get to do any preseason matches. Now they've been thrown straight into the deep end in a Premier League game out of nowhere. And then the settling in period is far longer. You can get this guy in. He wants to move. He wants to stay in the league. He knows the league. And we can get the deal done before preseason even begins. And I think if you bring in him and Dembele and you remove Werner and Lukaku out of this team,
Big upgrade.
It's an upgrade, because now everybody's good on the ball for a start. Yeah. That's the first thing. Everybody can have a first touch of the football that won't balloon into the stands. Do you know what I'm saying? We can actually interlink, interchange. We've got a winger that can play both sides. We've got a striker that can play all across the front three, both which are technical. Both of which can interchange with Kai. You've got Ziyech on one flank. You've got Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi on the other. I think Hudson-Odoi would be great for a loan, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute because it seems like that's probably not going to happen. And we've got, and then we've got our midfielders who can add goals to the team if we were to play a three-man midfield, your Masons, your Gallagher. So if there was a striker out there that was going to get us 20 goals a season, bang, then fair enough. But because all of the targets can't, in my opinion, they don't give me that guarantee, and they're all more expensive. I think it's a done deal. as Grimes would say.
And you know what? Really this is a perfect time, and I would love to hear what Younes and yourself have to say. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, but 1 week after Darwin Núñez." Look, man, I just tweeted something out, and Grizz was the first Liverpool fan to come in and talk about this. I'm telling you right now, yes, Klopp is a superb manager, but he's also been blessed with Mane and Salah. The impact Mane and Salah has had, not the player type. So just understand what I'm about to say. The impact Messi has had for Barcelona, Mane and Salah, in terms of impact, I'm not comparing the players. It's quite similar. The amount of goals Mane and Salah are scoring for the past 4 or 5 seasons, I'll be very surprised if Klopp just brings in Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, Diego Jota. As good as they've been, Jota has been great. As good as he's been, as good as the little snippets that we've already seen of Luis Diaz, I don't think Darwin Núñez and all of these players coming in are just going to replace Mane's goals. And if Salah is to go next season, are just going to replace. So don't get too caught up on Darwin Núñez's situation. This guy's still a developing player. He ain't finished. Yeah. And to say that he'll go to Liverpool and Klopp will just turn him into the next Mbappe, Mbappe's don't just fall from the tree. These are God sent. Like I'm literally saying to you, players like Mbappe, players like Salah, Mane, these don't happen. Like people think overnight. They just happen like this. Klopp ain't gonna just turn everyone into like that. I'm telling you, they are gonna be for a rude awakening as soon as they miss Mane next season. They're all over the moon. Yeah, Darwin Núñez.
No, they're not. Not all of them. Not all. I've spoken to some Liverpool fans. Some of them are actually not happy. I've seen James Redmond on Cop TV going crazy about it and saying that he didn't want him because he'd prefer Bowen at West Ham. I actually do agree. I think Bowen would balance out their attack more than
your shout for Gnabry was a mad one. If they got Gnabry, I think I would have been a bit worried because that fits their style.
Yeah,
that fits their style.
Play both flanks as well. I think he's pretty much comfortable using both feet. But yeah, I mean, I think with them as well, they're overpaying massively. Adrian thinks they're overpaying as well because we didn't come up with that fee. We recorded that prior to breaking news. We came up with around about 60 million, something like that. But then they'd go and slap down even more money. So yeah, back to our situation. I just think there is no guarantee hit. If Lewandowski wanted to come here, different conversation. Go and get yourself 2 creative wingers. Get Lewandowski down the middle. He can be the senior player to Kai Havertz. Perfect blend of experience and youth. You get yourself a Dembele. You get yourself another creative winger, and you just absolutely funnel everything into him because he's going to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. That doesn't exist. So I think everybody has to contribute, and at least I can enjoy my team again to say everyone's going to press from the front. Everybody can interlink. Everybody can interchange. I think we'll play better football. We played good football when Kai Havertz was leading the line for a stretch of games when Lukaku had COVID, I believe. When we were smacking up teams early, just before Christmas of last season. I just feel like there'll be a better vibe around the place. And Thiago Silva's here as well. You've got that Brazilian connection. For me, it just makes sense. So yeah, that's the kind of direction I would go in. People have been, like I said, saying Sterling, but the guy earns 300k a week. So unless he's going to take a wage cut, which I don't really see why he would, that's another very expensive person to come onto the wage bill.
Coming to Chelsea doesn't make sense for him. He needs to think about going to maybe Real Madrid next.
Yes. What's his motivation?
He won't go to Real Madrid. Zero motivation. He's won everything with Manchester City except for Champions League. But you can do that with Real Madrid as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's my question, Miz. People, because I know Jesus won't go to Real Madrid because of EU restrictions, so they will actually look at him as well. I'm going to start asking this question a lot more from footballers. What would be Raheem Sterling's motivation to come to Chelsea after playing at Manchester City for all this time, winning Premier League after Premier League after Premier League? He's already scored goals in this league. He's already put up his statistics. What is his motivation to come here and go again at that? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, and like I said, for me, the reason why Jesus is the key here, and Nkunku falls into a similar bracket because I guess he could go up there as well in that position if needed, is he can actually cover for Kai up there if he had to. And Kai is not a reliable solution if Lukaku leaves in terms of goals.
Yeah, agree.
Broja, can we trust him? You know, I mean, Broja could effectively still be here because Jesus can play out wide. This is why it doesn't even it doesn't even directly block off Broja's path. Whereas if you buy a striker and Kai plays up there as well, and Broja's going to feel a little bit, where's my minutes coming from? Whereas if you sign a player that can play all across the front three, which is similar to what Liverpool had with Mane, right? He could play left, but he could play up front. It opens up doors where it says, listen, you can still play, but if you're shit, then you can't play. You know what I mean? We could open the door and close it just as quick. So yeah, that's just how I currently see it at the moment. I mean, defensively, who else have we been linked with? There's been links with, obviously,
lately we've been linked with De Ligt as well. Apparently Todd Bowley will do that. Koulibaly was my first choice, but apparently the word is he wants Barcelona. I don't understand. All these brothers want to go to Barcelona. Don't they know they're broke?
They can't afford. They don't have the facilities.
I'm honestly debating whether there's some sort of laundering going on in that club, bruv. The amount of players that are waiting to be registered that are not, and the amount of people that are getting interested. There's a queue.
It's like a queue for a concert. Yeah,
it's mental. You know, one of them places where you're stuck outside for 45 minutes before you get in. Like, it's just endless. That's exactly what's happening at Barca, man. I don't get it. They still haven't been able to get certain players through the door because they can't register them because of their finances. So it's weird. It's weird what's going on.
They have not even registered Christensen yet. Is he still our player? Is Christensen our player yet?
Kessie and Christensen are meant to be registered. They're not registered yet. Sergio Roberto can't get a new contract done because of it. He can't register his new contract. Lewandowski wants to bounce to Barca. Marcos Alonso apparently too. They can't do anything yet. Aspi, perhaps. But, bruv, how are they going to do all this?
I don't think they can. I think Christensen's a Chelsea player, brother.
No, end of contract. He's going to be rocking up to Cobham going, can I get a new contract, please?
and bring in your sick leave note as well while you're at it. Do you know what I mean? You've been calling in sick a lot.
Yeah, man. Mental.
Aren't we all? Shout out my former employers. Oh my days. You know, I was actually so petty, right? I actually turned up to my old workplace when I was back in London just to see if all my former employees were still in their department, and they were all gone. I was so disappointed. I just wanted to go in there and rattle a few cages, but unfortunately there was no one to be found. It was a very sad experience. I came with my most petty energy and got nothing out of it. So yeah, I mean, that's about it, isn't it? Really, we've touched on everything. I'm going to keep this one shorter. But yeah, good conversation on Gabriel Jesus. Good outpouring of emotion once again on Lukaku. I'm sure next week he would have, I don't know, he would have done something, robbed Marina's car or something. I don't know. We'll just wait for the next update. And guys, we were speaking about Ben Jacobs, unbelievable journalist, like so clear, so direct, makes his points, doesn't, you know, waffle and chat nonsense and try and, you know, clickbait you in like every. You know, he covered the ownership situation so well, unbelievably well. He was the best journalist to cover that situation and had him on the channel. A few others did as well, quality. Now to take it into the transfer window, oh, Lord have mercy. It's like our prayers have been answered. How many times do we get dragged up and down by these journalists? The guy is just straight and narrow to the point, clear, concise, perfect. I'm willing to collab as well with other people. I'm actually having him on tomorrow on Twitch
nice.
In the early afternoon. For a live show, so it's able for direct questioning. So if you're not following the Twitch already, people, link is in the description. Follow the Twitch. Ben Jacobs will be on there tomorrow. Miz, let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure as always.
Another really, really good episode. I just want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you guys that have been watching as well, because I've been just checking up on the last. I'm sure Matisse has been as well. Like, the numbers are really, really good on the last few episodes on All You Can Eat Chelsea, which is great. And some of the comments are great. I know one or two, the constant haters of me, which is fine. You guys keep hating me. That's okay. Just, you know, unreasonably hating as well. At the end of the day, it's just football, man. You don't need to hate people just because of football opinion. But you can find me on the other side of the coin twice daily. One I try to do live lately now because of the transfer window, and then another one is a pre-recording or shorter video which recaps everything, which is a much later on during UK time, around 10-ish, 10:30-ish, so that I don't fall into the trap what Matisse had, where he does a video and then something breaks right after that. So I try and keep it as late as possible. So 2 uploads, the other side of the coin, getting very close to 13,000. So yeah, subscribe.
There you go. Absolute pleasure. And Younes, my brother, talk to us. Where can they find you?
Right. So, brand new channel. I'm kidding.
Hey!
Younes Talks Football.
Shit, I thought you said Younes Talks and then you was gonna stop, and it's like, we're back.
No, to be honest, second channel will be back soon. It's tough managing too, especially if you're having to try and constant content. It's not easy, but I've had things happening. So yeah, that will come.
Come back to Twitch, please. We need friends.
Yeah, definitely. I will.
I'm the only Chelsea content creator on Twitch. I have no friends.
Younes, you were on Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing the nitty gritty to Twitch. I said, all right, I'm bringing the fucking Lateness is greatness, and then he just stopped bringing the nitty gritty.
This is what I'm saying, because the second channel is relevant to Twitch as well. So both of them kind of come as a pack, as a package. Oh, okay. So no, that will be coming back soon. Yeah, I will. Everyone will understand why very soon. But with Younes Talks Football, with the main channel, constant updates and seeing what's popping, Chelsea and elsewhere. And for now, that's basically it, I think. So yeah, what I do want to say very quickly, Chelsea being teasers, right? Absolute tease. They on the Fifth Stand app, I don't know if you get notifications, they tell you French defender signs on a 3-year deal, and I'm like, no, I knew
from the women's team.
I've seen notifications pop up, and I'm like, nah, you're bluffing. And then I hit it, and it's someone from the women's team.
3-year deal was the giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then yesterday I hit it again. I'm like, no, it's from the women's team, isn't it? And it's from the women's team. So Chelsea, nah, you play.
Many fell for that, actually. They thought it was Jules Koundé.
Yeah.
Mud. Absolutely mud. I've just deeped it. I haven't got notifications switched on. This is why. You've just reminded me why I actually turned off notifications. I was just looking at the app there. And when you go in your settings, you just turn it off. It's like, it's like Snapchat, just off. It's brilliant. So yeah, that's why I did that. Yeah. 3 years was the giveaway though. For anyone that fell for that, my hearts and prayers go out to you. You must have had a heart attack. We just signed. Oh, it's not easy. That clickbait is nuts. You know what I'm saying? It can catch anybody out. But yeah, make sure you smash up the icon, subscribe to the boys. And yeah, we'll be back. This is going to come out very soon. I'm not going to premiere it because it's a shorter one. And also I may go for a double like Miz. I might go for a later one. I'm not going to get done over by Fabrizio again. I've had words. Do you know what I'm saying? We've aligned times. That won't be happening again. That was uncalled for and unnecessary violence from that man. Yeah, it was crazy. So until next time, in a bit, people. Peace.